Hey everyone, welcome to Judging for the Win. I'm Dave, and this is my daily ruling. The theme for this question was suggested by viewer Tyga Style, who wanted to know how Convoke worked with abilities that had you sacrifice the permanent for mana. So, for example, let's say that Amy has a wild Cantor, and she wants to cast a Chord of Calling. Can she get double duty out of her wild Cantor by tapping it to generate mana with Convoke, and also sacrificing it to generate mana with its own ability? Alright, so to see exactly how this works, we're going to take a look at the steps to casting a spell. The first step that's relevant here is we determine the cost to cast the spell. Afterwards, the player gets a chance to activate mana abilities, and then after that, the last step is to pay those costs, after which the spell is officially considered cast. Now you can see there might be a little bit of a problem when you take a look at how Convoke actually works. You see, even though it really thematically feels like you're tapping those creatures for mana, that's not exactly what's going on. The rules from the CR tell a different story, as you can see here. What you're actually doing is tapping those creatures rather than paying mana in the mana cost for the spell. That means that the Convoke step happens during the time when you're paying the cost for the spell, which, as we just found out, happens after the step where you can activate mana abilities. This means that if you wanted to tap Wild Cantor for mana using the Convoke, you're not actually tapping it for mana, you're just tapping it instead of paying mana during the time when you're paying the costs, after which time you've already sacrificed it for mana. So this one does not work out the way that you would want it to. There's a different story if we were trying to cast a spell that had Delve instead of Convoke. Just like in Convoke, when you exile the cards rather than pay the mana, that happens in the step where you're paying the cost to cast the spell. Unlike in the previous example, the graveyard is exactly where we want Wild Cantor to be. So, it is possible for you to sacrifice the Wild Cantor for mana and then exile it using Delve in order to help you cast a spell that way. I know you probably would just sacrifice it preemptively and then exile it with Delve normally, but wouldn't it be a lot cooler if you showed off your rules muscle by casting it the way that I just suggested? I think so anyway. And that's all I have for you today. How did you do? Join me again tomorrow for another daily ruling, but until then, I hope you have a great day.